So today we're going to study Acts 22, and it says, we're going to study the end of the chapter. When Paul was arrested by the Jews, and then the Jews are trying to kill him, so the Roman guard goes in, saves him, and they're trying to figure it out. And then, Paul speaks to everybody, and then when he starts talking about that he went to the Gentiles, Jesus sent him to the Gentiles, they wanted to kill him, and that's for another time. Right now I want to go from verse 22 all the way to the end of the chapter, verse 29. So when he just finishes, they all started, when he just finished his speech, they all tried to sing, up to this word they listened to him. Then they raised their voices and said, "Away with such a fellow from the earth, for he should not be allowed to live." And as they were shouting and throwing off their cloaks and flinging dust into the air, the tribune ordered him to be brought to the barracks, saying that he should be examined by flogging to find out why they were shouting against him like this. But when they had stretched him out for the whip, Paul said to the centurion who was standing by, "Is it lawful for you to flog a man who is a Roman citizen and uncondemned?" So when the centurion heard this, he went to the tribune and said to him, "What are we about to do? For this man is a Roman citizen." So the tribune came and said to him, "Tell me, are you a Roman citizen?" And he said, "Yes." The tribune answered, I bought the citizenship for a large sum," Paul said, "but I am a citizen by birth." So those who were about to examine him withdrew from him immediately, and the tribune also was afraid, for he realized that Paul was a Roman citizen and that he had bound him. So this is the power of the citizenship in the story, right? So, there's a massive, always a revolution happening in Jerusalem where they're just trying to basically kill Paul, and they're trying because he basically went to the Gentiles, and a lot of people don't even know what's happening, but there's this big commotion, and Rome, they don't want commotion in their in the empire, because it can just spiral out of control against them. So they're always trying to make sure to keep the temperature down. So they go grab Paul, and they're trying to figure it out. So, and because he's not a Roman citizen, in their opinion, they don't really care. They're just like, we're not really getting what's going on, so let's just flog this guy. And, with pain, truth will come up. That's kind of like, they don't really care. He's not a Roman. And as soon as they find out that he's actually Roman, they become really scared, because a Roman citizen at that time in the Roman Empire, it was special. He was conditioned to a better treatment. He wasn't like the people that were subjected. He was with the empire. He was with the power that was, empowering everybody, that was actually controlling everybody else. So by simply saying, "I am a Roman citizen," everybody was afraid. Everybody, because not all people in the army necessarily were Romans, by the way. So everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Because we cannot treat a Roman unfairly. They have certain rights." And we can see by the story, a lot of people wanted to become Romans because it was freaking awesome to be a Roman, right? And Rome was always, always saw a way to make money. They kind of sold their citizenship. So if you want to be us, and you weren't born like us, just pay some money, and you can come up, and then you're one of us. So the tribune, he was like, I'll pay, because I want all that comes with being a Roman citizen. I want the rights. And Paul just had it by birth, just pure luck. And what the story tells us is the power of the citizenship. And of course, at the time, Rome was, the biggest empire. But if someone would ask you and I, hey, do you want to become a Roman citizen? And we would say, like, what do you mean? Like, the town of Rome in Italy? No, a citizen of the empire. It's worthless. The empire is dead. There's nothing to it. But we are citizens of a much greater empire, ruled by our one and only King, the God that created all of this earth. And we become citizens by birth, but not by our birth, by our mom's birth, but being reborn through the blood of Jesus Christ. And then we become members of this empire that will last forever and ever. And we are entailed to certain rights. We, as citizens of the kingdom of heaven, we have rights. First of all, we have rights to our salvation. We have the right to live a life that is eternal. And we have the right to, after our death, be close to our God, the God that created heaven and earth. And we will have the right to be loved by Him unconditionally. Even though we've done terrible things in our life, the blood of Jesus Christ cleanses us of all our sin. And that's the right we get. Not because we deserve it. Same way, nobody deserves, at the time, being a Roman citizen. It's just pure luck. You were born that way, and that's it. Or you had to pay money for it. For us, it's free. It's just, the Bible just says we just got to believe and we'll be reborn by the blood of Jesus Christ. And then we have access and we become citizens of the kingdom of heaven, which is the greatest kingdom that will never fall. Rome fell. All the other empires fell. But we are members of the only empire that will last forever and ever and will never fail. That is an amazing blessing.